What are the strategic implications of all this? When you are looking at strategic implications, you are looking at from marketing aggregation to targeting. You may like to aggregate different market segments, saying for this particular product we can look at so many segments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take for example the washing machine. You may have different models of washing machines. One could be semi-automatic, second could be fully automatic, one could be semi-automatic with not full drying, semi-drying, a fully automatic not with full drying but 80% drying. Then there could be a separate drying unit itself. So you may take the clothes which are dried to get into 100% drying by putting into this drying unit. So there may be, suppose it is a cold region, you may like to opt, or the consumer might like to opt for this drying unit also, because there is, he may not have days or he may not get that sunshine, get that remaining 20% drying. He may say, I am using this washing machine here and I am putting it also to the drying. You find this very commonly in place in most of the Western countries. You have a dryer and the dryer makes it 100% dried. Your clothes are 100% dried in this. So when you are looking at segments, you are looking at market aggregation and to targeting. So the drying unit may be very useful in the Western context. It may not be so useful in the Indian context. You may find that the Indian consumer is quite happy or contented with the washing machine. He may not require the drying unit separately. He may be happy with his 70% or 80% drying which the washing machine gives. He puts it for drying outside and in a few hours this gets dried fully. So that this is the first implication he has to get from market aggregation to targeting markets, that is segmenting the markets according to particular targets. All this terminology is becoming or is getting used differently in the market now. You call it a niche market segment. So when you say it is a niche market segment, you have to find out what is this niche which this particular product is targeting on. Take the example of this Nirma washing powder. So it was concentrating on a niche marketing. That is, it was concentrating on a market which was highly susceptible to price. That is, people who could not afford your surf but wanted to use a washing powder at a much lower price. That is the lower income strata of the Indian society. The Nirma was targeting. He was targeting such that this section could afford this particular washing powder. But since this particular segment, the sales in this particular segment of this Nirma washing powder increased to such a level, it became a threat to surf only. So the result was Hindustan Lever had to come out with promotional campaigns as to differentiate the clothes which were washed by Nirma and that by surf. So this advertising or promotion helped to find surf its due recognition in the marketplace. The second one is, what are we trying to do? That is, what is the strategic marketing manager trying to do? He is, with respect to the organization or the brand or the product, he is putting a positioning map in the intended customer's mind. He is saying, look, take the same example which I gave you. Nirma, a middle class user or a higher income segment user would never look at Nirma. He would look at surf only or products in that range. Why he would look at it? Because the attributes of surf vis-a-vis Nirma, they are different according to him in his intended mindset. Similarly, If you look at different brands with respect to TVs, you may say LG is at this level. Compared to that, your Panasonic is at a different level. Compared to that, the Sony is at a different level. So which one you can afford? LG may be available to you at a lower rate, Panasonic a little higher, Sony much higher. Which one do you want to take? So depends on the customer's budget and where he wants to get associated, the brand positioning. So in this whole scenario, what it implies is the brand equity of a product. So the brand equity of a product comes into play, and that brand equity gets, depending on the value of the brand, a higher or a lower value to your product. In order to get to this positioning in the intended customer's mind, many times marketing managers make use of symbolism, that is strategic use of symbolism. So if you see the mobile phones now, the latest version of the Android phone, you get a symbol. Suppose your phone is not answered, you get a symbol where a figure comes saying that your contact may be out of reach. So he shows by a symbol. So you don't have to really look at what is the voice which is coming in. This symbolism is enough to tell you are not able to reach your person to whom you phoned. The implications of all this is terrific with respect to product innovations and value decisions. So you keep on innovating your products. In other words, what is happening is, in a competitive market scenario, there is a lot of value which gets attached to the feedback of the customer. And depending on the type of feedback which comes from the customer side, the product innovations start coming into play. So you start innovating on your product continuously. This is not a one-time process. It is a continuous process, and where these value decisions come into play. Suppose I innovate like this, what is going to be the effect on price? That is the impingement on the price of the product. Now what is happening in the present market scenario? Markets have become digital, online. So two things are happening here. One is your e-shopping is becoming more pronounced. But many times in e-shopping, you may not get the feel of the product. The consumer might like to have a feel of the product. Then sometimes he may say, I would like to go to the store physically and feel the product before making a decision to buy the product. So then e-shopping fails to address that particular criterion. Now, what are you seeing with respect to all this digital marketing and other types of online marketing? You are seeing a terrific spurt with respect to business markets and also consumer markets. You are seeing so many online marketing companies catering to different consumer needs, even your whether it is your vegetables or your groceries or many other items like your clothes. The online market is coming in straight to your house and telling this is available to you. Why don't you order? So, e-shopping, B2B markets and consumer markets have changed the scenario in which the present marketing is operating. You have a lot of changes which has come into the marketplace. The result is you have tremendous opportunities if you are able to adapt to this situation. So tremendous opportunities are getting open for you if you are able to adapt to this change as a player. We stop here. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.